Hey guys, I'm going to read you another Steve Jenkins book today. It's called I See a Kookaburra. Looking at this picture, what do you see kind of hidden behind the grass there? So we're going to take a deep dive and look into discovering animal habitats around the world. Scorching deserts and steamy rainforests, muddy ponds, and salty oceans. Animals are found almost every place on Earth. They thrive in all these habitats because over many generations, animals adapt. They change their size, shape, and habits to fit different conditions. Where there's not much water, they're able to use every drop. If there are fierce predators on the ground, many animals live in the trees. All over the world, animals have developed different ways of surviving. 6 different parts of the world are shown in this book. Each habitat includes 8 of the animals that live there. Just like real animals, they may be difficult to spot at first. See if you can find them all. Then turn the page. You can learn more about these animals at the back of the book. So, what I want you to do is I want you to get ready to look carefully for 8 animals in each habitat. Let's go. In the desert, I see. This is the desert in the American Southwest. Looking at this picture, what kind of animals do you see in this habitat? A sharp-eyed kitfox leaving its burrow. Right here. A long-nosed bat sipping nectar from a flower. Right here. An angry diamondback rattlesnake buzzing a warning. Right here. A trapdoor spider waiting patiently in its tunnel. A tiny elf owl making its nest in a giant cactus. A kangaroo rat bounding over the sand. A poisonous Gila monster creeping slowly over the rocks. A javelina sniffing out tender roots. In a tide pool, I see this tide pool is on the southern coast of England. What do you see in this tide pool? Take a look at this tide pool habitat. Some of the 8 animals may use the rocks and plants to hide behind or blend in with the plants. What do you notice? What do you think the bird might be doing? A natterjack toad looking like a wet, bumpy rock. A sea star holding tight with all 5 arms. A stinging anemone hitching a ride. A peacock worm spreading its feathery tentacles. A hermit crab looking for a new home. A hungry oyster catcher searching for a juicy shellfish. A sea urchin, a colorful pincushion. A poisonous weaverfish waiting for its next meal. These were some of the hidden animals that you noticed in the tide pool. Which animals were hard to find? The animals that were hard to find can blend into the habitat. How do you think this helps them? So some of these animals here can blend into a habitat, because this is their habitat on the previous page. This is where they live. Right? And it was hard to find them in there. In the jungle, I see. This jungle or rainforest is in the Amazon River basin of South America. Looking at this picture, what are some things that you can see? A toucan and its large, colorful bill. A jaguar with a spotted coat that helps it hide in the forest's dappled light. A red-eyed tree frog startling an attacker with its big, bright eyes. A young emerald tree boa, born red, it will turn a brilliant green when it grows up. A harpy eagle, the most powerful bird of the prey in the world. A spider monkey escaping danger by swinging from branch to branch. A rhinoceros beetle, the world's strongest insect. Rhinoceros beetle. The fierce-looking but timid green iguana. On the savanna, I see. This savanna or grassland is in Central Africa. Remember, I want you to look again what animals we see hiding in this habitat. A serval hunting in the tall grass. A busy elephant shrew scurrying through the brush. A dung beetle rolling animal droppings into a ball. A nearsighted rhinoceros who is able to charge at 30 miles per hour. A giraffe antelope stretching to reach the tender leaves of a thorn tree. A secretary bird who kills snakes by stomping on them with its feet. A naked mole rat, nearly blind and almost hairless. A termite guarding its nest, a mound 30 feet tall. In the forest, I see. This forest is in eastern Australia. So remember, I want you to look again what kind of animals you see in this forest. A noisy kookaburra with a call that sounds like crazy laughter. So remember, we have our kookaburra here on the front. A cicada, a bug that spends its first 7 years living underground. A dingo, a fierce wild dog on the hunt. A frilled lizard, startling an attacker. A walking stick insect hiding in plain sight. A furry koala, fast asleep. A cassowary, a huge flightless bird with a helmet on its head. An echidna, a prickly, egg-laying mammal. In a pond I see. This pond is in the American Midwest. Think about, what animals would you see in a pond? Let's see which ones we can see in this picture here. A hungry northern pike lying in wait for its next victim. Kind of fish right here. A kingfisher splashing into the water to catch a fish. This bird right here. A water spider with a bubble of air trapped on its web. A red spotted newt, warning predators to stay away with its bright orange skin. A dragonfly hovering lightly above the water. A great blue heron standing very still at its waits to spear a fish. A sleek muskrat going for a swim. a alligator snapping turtle buried in the mud. The end. And at the very end of the book, just like a lot of other Steve Jenkins books, we have more facts about all of these animals we read about. So, in this book, I See a Kookaburra, we read all about different habitats and the animals that live in them. Animals adapt or change over time to survive in their habitats. You can learn about animals by looking closely at how they live in their habitats. Thanks for reading again with me.